But 3 of the occupants were pronounced dead at the scene. Drivers to believe a U.S. citizen, which was interesting, and is now in U.S. Border Patrol custody while being treated for his injuries, according to affiliate KFMB TV out there. None of the occupants identified were released. It wasn't immediately clear whether they were part of the migrant caravan currently awaiting entry. There in San Diego, authorities do not suspect alcohol or drugs were involved in the collision. The CHP, or known as CHIP, is now handling the investigation. Thursday's crash, not the first fatal accident, involved U.S. Border Patrol. There was a high-speed chase, if you remember, back in June. That ended with an SUV carrying illegal immigrants, injecting 12, 5 of whom were killed, near the Tex-Mex border. And they were about 100 miles an hour, too. And that driver also believed to be an American citizen, too. You know what's going on right there with that whole situation. Yeah, you got coyotes. For children, but you get them for adults. They're making money, bringing these puppies in, getting them in. It's an American citizen. This person's going to do some time, but put them all at risk. And they, stupidly, because of the amount of enforcement, because of the caravan, there's extra security there. There's extra people around, trying to avoid people getting in, obviously, more so than ever. It's kind of a strange notion since it really wasn't that well enforced. I mean, there was enforcement, and then there's now much more enforcement agencies than ever before, and thanks to Donald Trump. Sad to see people die. Sad to see people get hurt, trying to get into a country, but illegally, you're trying to enter and forcefully at 100 miles an hour. Wow. That's very, very sad and very, very stupid. And I would imagine that this gentleman who was driving, that his life was spared, you would think that there would be manslaughter charges against him, wouldn't you think? I would guess, but at least 9 people, including 7 illegal immigrants in custody after yesterday, smugglers using a Panga-style boat came ashore in Southern California, according to the U.S. Customs and Border Patrol. The smugglers landed with illegal immigrants on Laguna Beach. I mean, if you're going to get in, man, there's a nice place to make entry. Laguna Beach. Ralph DeCio, a Border Patrol spokesman, said that 4 Mexican nationals and 3 Chinese nationals were among the illegal immigrants who were detained, according to the Los Angeles Times. He said one of the smugglers was a U.S. citizen and the others had overstayed his visa. Authorities didn't clarify the person's country of origin. Here it goes. The smugglers were waiting in a vehicle nearby to transport the smuggled immigrants. See, this is big business. But business gone wrong. People will pay. People will pay money to come over here. And folks, you got to understand what a wonderful country we have. It is the land of plenty, the land of opportunity, home of the free, home of the brave. We have a beautiful country. But I reiterate, there's people that are waiting in lines. There's people that are doing it the right way. There's people wanting to do it the right way. We have to be diligent about upholding our laws. And when you have people that just don't care and have sanctuary cities and allow illegal immigrants to be in the shadows and never come out again, I blame a lot of politicians for this, past and present, that allow it to happen. And this is just look the other way kind of a thing, because people will say, well, who are going to do the jobs? Who's going to pick all that vegetation? Who's going to work at those slave wages? It will be the Mexicans that will do it. Well, I say shame on any politician currently or has done it before in the sake of allowing people to run their businesses that way, which the money has been going back to Mexico. Some of it goes back to the family, but largely it feeds their economy. And ultimately, it weakens our country from within financially, from citizens that are looking for work, wanting work. And I think it really hurts people in this country big time, where, there would be other folks that would do the job. But it's just a downward spiral from there. And what happens? No, they're not going to do the work because they'll be in the welfare line. They'll go ahead and get all the benefits that they need to be able to survive. And sometimes you got to do what you got to do. I'm not mocking the program of welfare. When you need it, and people do, they're sick, something happens. I'm talking about freeloaders that can work, that don't work. I just wanted to clarify that for anybody that thinks that I'm insulting anybody for the welfare system. I am not. I'm grateful that it exists for people that need it. And it should only be used, in my opinion, for when you need it. All right. I said I was going to talk about Babs. Well, that's her nickname. Actor and singer Barbra Streisand, you might know her more by her name, Barbra Streisand. She echoed Hillary Clinton in this new interview by saying that women who voted for President Donald Trump were simply following their husband's lead. Listen up, ladies. A lot of women vote the way their husbands vote. They don't believe enough of their own thoughts, Streisand told the Daily Mail's Weekend magazine. Maybe that woman who's so articulate, so experienced, and so fit for the presidency, Clinton, was too intimidating. Hillary Clinton, too intimidating. Perhaps she made women feel unsuccessful. You hear what she said? Perhaps Hillary made women feel unsuccessful. Did you feel unsuccessful? Do you feel unsuccessful? How many bids for president? 3? She's going to run again. 2. It'll be the 3rd time. Perhaps she made women feel unsuccessful. All of this was devastating. This is devastated Babs. You got to feel bad for her. To me, and she goes on, and it's just hilarious. And I was heartbroken, so I wanted to write about it, sing about it, and deliver an album. It was perfect timing, so I just did it. Oh, there's the reason why. Babs needs to sell some albums, so a little controversy, using politics. Perfect. Streisand has long supported, by the way, Democratic politicians. This is nothing new. Been very vocal in her opposition to Trump serving as president. But she went off, spewed a lot of this stuff to the Daily Mail, and you can reference it, thedailymail.com. Just type in Streisand, interview will come up. So she says, I love food too much. I eat when I'm sad. I eat when I'm happy. This president makes me anxious and hungry for pancakes. Buckwheat pancakes, she said. I had to put butter on them and maple syrup to ease the pain. To ease the pain. Well, maybe you've just given a lot of liberals, a lot of those that were very disappointed that Hillary Clinton, still deniers that President Donald Trump is actually the president or deserves to be the president. Maybe you need to have some kind of cooking show where everybody calm your anxiety, calm your fears, and get hungry for some pancakes. But specifically, she mentioned buckwheat pancakes. She said, I had to put butter on them and maple syrup to ease the pain. She said, I love my country, and it's painful to see democracy being assaulted, institutions being assaulted, and women being assaulted. In September, Streisand released the new song at Donald Trump. She titled it, Don't Lie to Me. When she says, I love my country, and I am glad she does. I love my country too. And Babs, we got that in common. I love my country, but she says, it's painful to see democracy being assaulted, institutions being assaulted, and women being assaulted. Wait a second. I thought Donald Trump was making America great. The economy's doing great. People's 401ks are doing wonderful. We're more secure than we've ever been. ISIS on the retreat. Folks, infrastructure's being built. The border's being patrolled. We got less activist judges in Washington, which is great. It's still a swamp, but we're getting some good judges on the Supreme Court, which is terrific. Thank God Kavanaugh, it got in. They tried to ruin him forever. But this is going to be their agenda, their modus operandi. Yeah, did I hear that Nancy Pelosi, Speaker of the House, that voted unanimously? And to me, that's just a step backwards for the Democratic Party. To allow her that power, to wield that power, it's not. And this really helps, in my opinion, Trump get reelected quickly in 2020 because of the old ideas, the stale ideas, and it's nothing to do with her age. It has to do with just this direction of the party. And there's a lot of young Democrats that have been very outspoken about Nancy Pelosi, but, they've made their decision. God knows why they made that decision. Maybe they feel like that she's earned this. She's paid her dues. And she's probably said, and that's it. And then you get rid of me after that. Then I'll retire. I don't think you're not going to get rid of her that easy. But anyway, you'll see the gavel in Madam Speaker Nancy Pelosi's hands. Marriott International. You ever stay at a Marriott? You know Marriott International. Maybe you have some stock in it, but you know who Marriott is. They were hacked. 500 million guests may be affected. Now, you say the attack is troubling not just because of its sheer size, but also the level of detail potentially stolen by attackers. They say the hack affects some 500 million guests and about 327 million of them. The data included passport numbers, emails, and mailing addresses, according to Marriott. Some credit card details may have also been taken. Some. Now, the Marriott hack, according to experts, ranks only below Yahoo, which was one of the biggest of personal data when 3 billion users were exposed to a 2013 security breach. The breach is so big, ladies and gentlemen, that the company may face a large fine from the authorities, and the market is factoring that in. According to Juan Jose Fernandez, Figure's chief and analyst for Link Securities in Madrid, he says this is yet another company that has been hit by hacking, and a reminder to any company that manages customers' personal data that they need to work harder to protect them from future attacks. Marriott's statement indicates the hacking was going on years before the company acquired Starwood. So if you do a little research into this hack, they say this is not the first time this has happened. You say, oh my God, 500 million guests. Well, altogether, Marriott's statement indicates, according to experts, that the company acquired Starwood in a deal which was $13.6 billion if you follow that deal. And that closed September, by the way, in 2016. Marriott's database contained guest information relating to reservations at Starwood properties on or before September 10th, 2018. And for some, it also included payment credit card deals, which didn't identify who the perpetrators might be. Although Marriott said that details such as credit card numbers were encrypted, it has not been able to rule out the possibility that enough details were taken in order to decrypt this information. So you really got to get into the story and track down all the information. So that's why it really helps to do your research when you're doing a broadcast. They go on to say, we have experienced cyber attempts to disrupt access to our systems and data, and attempts to affect the integrity of our data, and the frequency and sophistication of such efforts could continue to increase, the firm said, without providing details on specific attacks. Marriott paid some, $13.6 billion to acquire Starwood in 2016, and that's what they acquired. This is the new reality for a lot of companies. You got Yahoo. I mean, tons of other companies are getting hacked. They're getting taken hostage. Hospitals, doctors' offices. I mean, this is, hey, we'll unlock your software if you pay us. But that wasn't ransom. That was just hacking information, selling that information, and God knows what they're going to do with that info. But you know that they send out information to all their folks that everybody's probably going to cancel their credit cards But their address, their personal information, their birth, their date of birth, their social security, all the valuable information, all the information that you